porch so photogenic. All I know is to go get it. Shoot my shot, now I ain't gon' miss it. All I know is to go get it.
We come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports.
Taken in at the 3.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
These two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They run it again with Chubb. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Now, this defense for the Bengals, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This is brought in at the 21. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Back to Mixon on 1st down. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That's a nice job there, foiling what all offenses try to do, which is control the defensive end in the running game. They want to get to the outside, and if he keeps himself free, stays on his feet, he can make a play just as he did there.
On 2nd and 11 now. Burrow. And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals are going to take over here up near the 40. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right, it felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Because his primary job is defending against the pass, you don't often see a cornerback making tackles in the backfield. But he's playing run all the way here.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Here we go. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Burrow. Man open, that's Jamar Chase, complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, this is a guy who runs with such balance and control. I mean, he went through that early contact just like he was driving over a speed bump, and he's able to continue his way downfield and wind up in the end zone. And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taken in at the 3. And able to get this out to the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play. And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And again, it's Chubb. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, Watson. He's going to drop this one down for Chubb. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. They will indeed snap it to Watson. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. To about the 40-yard line.
The Browns at 1-3 here in the early part of the year. They come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
Second down, here's Chubb again.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Here's Watson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. The Browns send out their punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is taken at the 18. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Burrow.
That one taken in by T. Higgins.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Burrow hooking up with Higgins for a Bengal 1st down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And that time the tackle by Malik Hooker.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he'll push forward to the 37, gain of 2. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Now it's Burrow. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the 1st quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. On 4th down, Matt Araiza sent on to punt. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Here comes Grant on the return. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one. 11 yards in the first down.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
Now left side on the swing pass.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, it will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Watson. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Off of play action, it's Watson. Under pressure, they got him again. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Here we go.
Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Gun.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here. 1st and 10.
Right at the 30.
11 coming.
Mixon gets the nod to start the drive. And some room to work. Trucks over him. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Well, partners, my old man used to say, make sure you strap up tight if you're going to try and stop one of those big horses out there. As you just saw there, this guy does not go down easily.
11. Gotta go. Stop.
Mixon with a first down carry. And some room to roam now. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Again, it's Mixon. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
Mixon going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3.
The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. There's still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter.
On 1, right? 11. 12.
Mixon trying to punch it in. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals.
Joe Mixon.
His 104th career touchdown, one shy of Tim Brown on the all-time list.
And the Bengals go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that'll make the score 14-0.
Kevin McPherson to kick off for Cincinnati.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. They go with Chubb on second down. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted.
And the Bengals are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
This is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. They go play action with Burrow. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
Hold on a second. Was that the fullback?
Here we go.
That was the fullback. Who says it? The slot receivers are the only guys who can catch the football and get big yardage after the catch. Really nice job there. Showing good hands and an ability to get upfield. That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Again, it's Mixon. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Mixon. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. They'll give it to Mixon. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
Here we go.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. A toss left, Mixon. And he pulls his way into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown.
Joe Mixon,
his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season.
And the Bengals will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that makes the score 21-0.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that is taken in by Njoku. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 30 before being taken down.
It's another first down on a big gainer there, 33 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Watson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going.
They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles. And, I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the 3rd quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Play action. It's Burrow. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else. Ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now it's Burrow. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Flynn. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That third down conversion good for 23.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Mixon running wide side. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 11 now. Burrow. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. 4 yards on the pickup there, as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball-controlled football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
A handoff, running left, Mixon. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And the route is on. It's 24-0. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So already not the best of kick returns there, but that penalty, that adds insult to injury and backs him up even closer to the goal line.
Yeah, not ideal field position to begin a drive, is it? Because the extra pressure now goes on the offense. They've got to get some early yards and get away from the shadow of their own goalposts. What every offense wants to do in this situation, get 2 first downs to help out with field position at the least.
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He's got his receiver, Cooper. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. A shotgun snap for Watson. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Third quarter action. Appreciate you joining us from Cleveland, Ohio. 2nd and 10. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. And the corner blitz gets him that time as he goes down for a short loss.
He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to touchdown.
David Njoku, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Kevin Stefanski going to leave the offense out to go for 2. Looking to maybe throw for it here, Watson. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up.
It may be only a gain of 3 yards, but that back, he deserves a lot more credit on the play. That could have easily been stopped at the line, but his vision and his determination found some space to turn it into that modest gain.
11 MT tape. 11 MT tape.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. Well, he had an offense for a two-score lead here in the 3rd quarter, and certainly doesn't feel as comfortable now following the turnover.
Yeah, you're right about that, because now the nerves start to come into play a little bit. You're a little bit jangled. You don't want to give your opponents any avenues to get back into the game. What you'd rather do, put up signs that say, roads closed.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a 1st down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
On the jet sweep, here's Cooper. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. But defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Now it's Watson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now Watson on 3rd and goal. Touchdown, Browns! David Njoku, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Browns are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. Now the Browns offense will stay on the field as they'll go for 2 here. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught, so they do get it. And the 2 points, now they're back down to a 1-score deficit. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
On 1, ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw.
Toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Running left, it's Mixon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
On
38-yard line, 2nd and 11.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Throw left side complete. That's Flynn.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Here comes a big one as this crowd gets out making some noise. It's 3rd and short. Burrow will throw. And Ingram hauls it in. 20, 10, 5, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Evan Ingram, 53 yards.
And the Bengals are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead is up to 15 now.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started.
The football changing hands here as this offense takes the field. Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Amari Cooper, 59 yards.
And the Browns get a bit closer. Extra point by York is up and good.
As this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away.
And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Things sure were looking good for him at the half. Heck, off the air, you and I were just saying they might run away with this thing and cruise to a victory. Not anymore.
Yeah, the cruise control has to be off at this point. Now you've got to mash the gas yourself. Again, who's going to step up and make a big play for you? Who's going to take care of business now that you're being pressed? It is definitely go time for them at this moment.
All of a sudden clinging to a slim lead and hoping to hold on to that lead. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Burrow. Able to find Higgins. Broke a tackle, but not much room there. Just up past the 25, no further.
Well, it's time to give more credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Here we go, here we go.
Inside handoff to Mixon. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
145 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Once again, they run with Mixon. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Here we go.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Mixing up the middle. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter.
McPherson's kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So that's, CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Here's Watson. Completes it to Aguilar. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. On first down, it's Watson. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Watson looks to throw again. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys have been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a...
And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need.
Picked off by Greg Newsom.
He's at the 40. 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
After the interception, here's Watson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. That'll go down as a 99-yard kick return. And the Bengals are closing in on a 4-1 start as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. To throw, Watson. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Watson to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to trip a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
Another try for Mixon. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line.
The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line.
11.
And they let the fullback try and take him home. And he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. They tried to let the fullback pound it in between the tackles, but he stopped up short. And the Browns are able to come up with a goal line stand. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game. In this sequence here, maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Now Watson completes to Njoku. And a great play there to start the drive. He's got this out near the 30-yard line.
One last throw here for Watson.
Into the hands of Cooper.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So this one